Hi everyone. We're on Wednesday now, and we're just going to continue on with Holy Week, and where we're at now is this strange passage, probably one of the most confusing passages that I've ever read in Scripture, um, and it's where Jesus explains to his disciples what the end of the age is in Matthew 24. And it's so confusing because so many people, so many scholars, so many pastors have argued what this means, what the end times are going to look like, how it's going to work. And really, there's no real straightforward answer. What Jesus does describe here is some scary stuff. He describes the signs of the end of the age. He said there will be famines and earthquakes in various places, but these are just going to be the birth pains. There's going to be so much worse. He describes the abomination of desolation standing in the holy place. The devil, this evil character, just standing in the place where God once sat, where God once dwelled. He describes the coming of his second coming, his second coming down to the earth. He describes the lesson of the fig tree, and he also describes the fact that no one will know the day or the hour in which this will happen apart from the Father. He says even himself, he does not know the time in which this will happen. So, there's so much confusion in this passage, but there is one thing that's a dead cert in there, and he begins to describe it at the end, starting from verse 45. He says, "Who then is the faithful and wise servant, whom his master has set over his household, to give them their food at the proper time? Blessed is that servant whom his master will find so doing when he comes. Truly I say to you, he will set him over all his possessions. But if the wicked servant says to himself, my master is delayed, and begins to beat his fellow servants and eats and drinks with drunkards, the master of that servant will come on a day when he does not expect him, at an hour he does not know, and will cut him into pieces and put him with the hypocrites. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." And what Jesus is saying there to us is to be ready. This is not a time to be fussing and just living lavishly, or living how we want to live. This is a time where we need to be abiding in Him the most. This coronavirus has knocked the place sideways. We don't know what's going on, but he's faithful. He's a solid rock, and we can rely on him. But even out of times of panic, even in the good times, those times are not times in which we should just feed our flesh. These are times in which we still need to abide in him. We need to be ready at all times. So I ask you today, are you ready?